Let's talk about smoke. There is a saying, where there is smoke, there's fire. And I don't know if that applies for this show necessarily. There's definitely a smolder. I don't know if it's like a burning fire, which is kind of ironic as that is the subject of the film, fire and arson investigators. But I have to say, I do like the show. It is definitely a weird show. I think they're making some very interesting choices, both in the way they tell the story and the way the cinematography is done, the lighting and the mood, and everything is just interesting, very interesting. But I like it. I generally like it. It's a little slow. It's like a smoldering little fire that kind of just will eventually grow into something, which is actually a little bit relevant to one of the arsons in the show that starts very small and then becomes bigger. But no spoilers. If you want to see, you should watch it. Definitely worth a watch. Takes a couple episodes maybe to get into it. So I didn't watch it when it first came out. I downloaded the episodes and then I watched them on the plane. So I was able to binge watch when I couldn't go anywhere and I didn't have anything else to watch. So that made me kind of sit through them, but I'm glad I did, because I do like where it's going. But it is a very, very strange show overall. Like I mentioned, the cinematography and some of the choices they made are definitely interesting and quirky, but it's beautifully shot and beautifully lit. The actors are great. Journey Smollett, I'm not really that familiar with her. She was on the Cosby Show, I guess, and she was also in that Lovecraft show. I didn't watch that show because I'm not a biggest horror fan, but she is great and she is beautiful, and she's definitely worth watching the show for. Taron Egerton, he's got a very unusual name. Taron Egerton is a very interesting actor. I'm not that familiar with his work. I liked him in Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic. He was really good in that, and he kind of looked like Elton John a little bit, so he did a really good job in that role. The Kingsman, I never really liked those movies, so I didn't watch them other than the first one. I had to look him up, and I saw that he was in Tetris. That was a movie that I actually really liked. It was a very interesting story how Tetris came to life. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out Tetris after you watch Smoke, or before, that doesn't matter. But Taron plays this character very, very, again, I'm going to say this word many, many times, very, very interestingly. And I don't know, it works, but it's also a little, it's definitely interesting. But it does work. I do think it works. His accent, though, his voice is very strange. I had to look this up. I had to look up his accent because somebody who has an accent, I do pick up on accents, and I did look him up, and he has stated before that his American accent is something that he struggles with, and his voice kind of goes up an octane, it seems, and it definitely did in this show, and but it becomes the character sort of. But I don't know if it's all a choice or if that was just it kind of all just fell together. But it works. But it's definitely weird. It lends to the whole weirdness of the show. The third main actor, I should say, is Greg Kinnear, and always a solid actor. But I think he's doing really well in this one. This just fits him really, really well as this like fire chief. He's over it. He's put in the years, and he's kind of lived a full life, and he's done things, and now he's kind of just waiting for it all to kind of come to an end in one way or another. And he gets roped into this investigation, even though he doesn't really want to. He doesn't believe in the subject, and that is another thing. So when you start watching the show, I'm not going to give any spoilers. I hope I don't do any spoilers. But there is a plot twist, or a twist into the story. And at least when I started watching it, I saw the twist coming pretty much in the first episode. I don't know if everybody does that. If everybody does that, then definitely, then they could have done a little bit better at hiding that, or they should have brought it in sooner. It should have been, this is what the show is. I don't know, like this kind of like beating around the bush to reveal a big twist. I don't know. It didn't work for me. it didn't ruin the show. It didn't like, I'm still watching, and the twist is kind of irrelevant, honestly. Especially if you kind of know that it's coming, or you can assume what it is. So it's not a big problem. The show keeps building, and the Last of Fire just keeps growing, and it's gonna just get explosive at some point, and like all consuming. The stakes are just getting higher and higher and crazier. So yeah, good show. Before I shot this episode, I didn't know who the creator of the show was. I hadn't looked him up. I didn't really, wasn't really that interested in finding out who he was. And I didn't recognize his name. But now I did look him up, and his name is Dennis Lehane. He has written some pretty impressive books. Mystic River, Gone Baby Gone, and Shutter Island, which have all been turned into movies, and pretty darn good movies at that. So yeah, he has talent, and it does show in the show. I don't know if this is a thing where directors and writers and producers and the studio and all came in and things got bungled a little bit, or if they're really trying for something different. Whatever they're trying for, it still works. It's still enjoyable. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend watching it, because it is different. It's definitely something different. And some of the shots and the choices they make cinematography wise is pretty cool. And it's definitely worth watching. So that is my review of Smoke. I haven't seen the finale yet, but I have a couple of ideas of how it's going to end. I don't think this is an ongoing show. I think it's probably a limited show. I don't think there's going to be a season 2, but they definitely can wrap it up in season 1. And I hope they do, because it was a fun little ride. At least it's been so far. So yeah, check it out if you haven't. If you subscribe to Apple TV and you kind of ran out and you've been watching this little thumbnail and then be like, I don't know if I want to watch it, I think you would enjoy it. And if you want more reviews or what Marius thinks about TV shows and movies, check out this video and this video, because those are 2 shows that I've reviewed before. It's White Lotus and Jack Reacher. And there's some spicy comments down below in those. And I'm sure there'll be some comments below here too. So enjoy.